Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to Life with Brock. If you end up liking the content, consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with a nerd friend. Let's go. Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to This Week in Customs. I am your host, Brock. This is the show where I go to Instagram and take a look at customs that you, the artist, are putting out on a weekly basis, and pretty much as a news show, letting everybody know what is what. We also have a contest every single week where the fans vote on the top customs for This Week in Customs. Last week's winner, or the couple weeks ago winner, Brimstone's Ghost, won with this amazing Mesco-style Mysterio. Congratulations, very well done. The fans voted and your custom was the favorite. Keep it up. And now let's get into this week's episode, and we're going to begin with this beast of a repaint from Action Figure Toronto. He is a customizer that I've featured often on this show, and the reason I really enjoy featuring, first of all, he's one of my favorite customizers, but he is such a talent that we can learn a lot of different things from when we are doing our own customs. Now, this customizer, he doesn't take commissions, so don't bother him with that, but he definitely does put out tutorials that you can learn from. Go to his page, Action Figure Toronto, where you can see a lot of his customs. I don't think he did this one, however, there are things to learn from it. One of the things that I realized straight from the beginning, from the outset of this amazing looking custom, is the attention to detail. When you look at the jacket, for example, you can tell that it's not only been painted white, it's not only been shaded with blue, it's not only all the little button details been painting it in, but it's also been outlined probably in some form of darker color, maybe black, I don't know. You can see there in the lapel and the arms and things of that nature. It is the small details that will make your custom stand out. You can see right there in the vest, he's also given the vest outline. It just gives it more of a depth. And when you pay closer attention to your details, I learn every single time this guy puts it out, I'm paying closer attention to my details. That's what's gonna make your custom stand out. And this thing is an absolute beast. Thank you for sharing it with the rest of us. Another amazing painter is going to be Mike De La Paz. Now, this is Santuyo Kent. I guess he commissioned this piece. Mike De La Paz is the artist, and it is just outstanding. Like the face, another attention to details. Look into her eyes. You're going to see multiple shades, different colors. The outlines is what really brings out these details. If you go to Mike De La Paz's page, he shows him working on this head where he's constructing the hair. And this is not an easy process. This is a long process. It's not something that just happens by snapping your fingers. It happens with years of experience. So if you're new, step by step, baby steps. And ultimately, if you work hard enough and you're gifted with some artistic abilities, you may be able to put out something as amazing as this. He's just showing that he made that hair posable. Yeah, it's an outstanding custom, and obviously Hasbro's going to be releasing one of, it's not going to look as amazing as this, but it does look pretty from the pictures that I've seen. All right, moving on to this Taskmaster. It's a more modern Taskmaster by Uncle Sam, 1989. By the way, absolutely loved how you took this picture. Really makes your custom stand out. He is brought up, Taskmaster is definitely in focus, and your attention is drawn to the custom. You can clearly see it in this picture. It's perfect distance from the camera. I don't even know how to tell you how to gauge the distance, but if you want to emulate a photograph and show off your customs, take a look what Uncle Sam has done here. He's done a really good job. It's essentially a repaint, but man, what a humongous difference that is. Definitely the modern look, and he's got some soft goods right there. You can tell this is one of the most recent Taskmasters that have been made. But if you're wanting to get showcased on this show, I have so many pictures, so many customs every single week, and unfortunately I do have a limited amount of time. And these episodes have been too long anyways, but if you want a good chance of getting in, take photos like that. It looks like he's just using natural daylight. Speaking of Taskmaster, Symbiote Seeker, here is doing a video game. It's the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 style Taskmaster. And I just think, first of all, the design of this character is beautiful. I love the mixture of colors, the orange, the blues, the yellows. And what he's done here is accessorized. Obviously, he's updated the buck. He's using some Toy Biz parts. He's using the butterfly joints now that Hasbro's giving us updated bucks. And I think this thing is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I know he's worked a ton. He was very meticulous in the details so he wouldn't get paint rub. The way that that cape was working, multiple different things that you just can't experience here. But if you go to his YouTube, he will talk you through how he made this custom, and he does it in 4K. This is an absolutely gorgeous Taskmaster. Makes me want to do one right this minute. And that's about, you know, inspiration. Sometimes we look at customs like this, what Ace just put out or recently put out. He's done a Sentry. Now you go, man, didn't we get a Sentry that looks exactly like that? Well, no, not exactly, players. Look, what he's done, he's used the Hercules upper body. And you're gonna have to go and check out his page because I'm not gonna remember all the different parts that he's done here. He's got a soft good cape on now. He's got a way better paint job than the original figure, obviously, because Hasbro puts out a great product, but it's not gonna be a premium painted product. And what Ace has done here, he's kit bashed a Sentry that he feels better represents the character. I think it does too. I think that upper body is way better than that Hyperion buck that came out in that Sentry, and that beard is not real, folks, okay? That is the face app, but it's pretty funny. I love how this turned out. It's a good looking custom. He's using a Harper Customs cape, soft goods. And moving on to the next one, here's Draw Customs. He's an artist that's often featured here because he pumps out awesome customs all the time. Now let's take a look at this. This is going to be one of those metal from Batman Metal. This is, which one was this? The God of War Batman. This is more of the God of War inspired. He got a little bit of the inspiration from the comic, which was a pretty good run if you guys are interested in seeing. But he's, man, I just love the look of this, all the different features. You can, like, if you had a Roman army or a gladiator scene or something like that, I can just see you putting this character right there. It fits in very well. Obviously, he's using some of the Ares parts, right? And he's updated the hips, thankfully. Who likes ball jointed hips anymore? It's terrible. But this is beautiful. Good work on all the parts. It's painted pretty well. And it's amazing because he doesn't even use an airbrush. So his paints are pretty clean for not using an airbrush. Kudos to you. I think you've spit out a pretty darn good custom. All right, Weapon X. Yeah, all right. What is this character's name? Oh yeah, Weapon H. His name threw me off. I was like, man, I knew it's not a Weapon X. But I like to see this one because this is a very interesting, it's a mix of Wolverine and Hulk. There's a comic called the Hulkverines. So Weapon X here pretty much has that essential design. It's a Hulk mixed with a Wolverine, mixed with who else? I can't remember what else, but go read that comic. This is a pretty cool looking customs. I really appreciate the shading that you've done on the gray. Notice he just didn't paint the gray. He's highlighted it so it gives you a more realistic look. I really enjoyed that custom. Okay, here we go. El Canco número uno. El Canco 1. Now you're going, man, what? Is that it is a Power Ranger underneath there, man. I think this is the first time I've seen it used for a Marvel Legend. Somebody out there may have used a Power Ranger before, a Power Ranger base, but I'm telling you right now, this White Ranger, very smart of El Canco to use this Power Ranger because it's so articulated. Man, the articulation on this White Ranger, I'm not even a fan of the Power Rangers, but it's caused me to go back and read some Power Ranger comics because I want this figure, but I didn't want to just get the figure just because. But as a base body, perfect use because obviously you have this character Phantom X that is white, and he's using white because that's going to save you on paint rub. Very smart. I think it looks good. I would like to see how it scales because I think the Power Rangers from Hasbro, just a slightly smaller than the Marvel Legends. But anyways, inspiration nonetheless. Speaking of inspiration, it's vintage. When I saw this character, I'm like going, what the heck is this? And then when I loved it. I loved the design of it. First of all, it's got the American flag, the Captain American shield, and I'm going, Captain America shield, is this Captain America? Well, apparently there was a run that Alex Ross penciled. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. The guy is super, super amazing. And there was a series called Earth X, and I've never read it, and I'm going, wow. So this is a character from that show, from that comic, and here's some of the art that he got the inspiration to make this custom. There was also somewhat of a statue. The statue is super expensive, it's like in the $300s of dollars. But anyways, so It's Vintage said that he made his own custom because he didn't want to buy the statue. Pretty interesting. Love this character in Captain America, my favorite superhero player. All right, moving on to this wicked looking monster Venom. When this popped up in the This Week in Customs feed, by the way, if you want to enter your customs, you need to submit them to hashtag This Week in Customs so that it goes into the pool for me to select the customs every week that I showcase. This thing popped up. Absolutely brilliant, phenomenal job on that head. It's articulated. I just noticed that for the first time, that it's articulated. That's so sick. Those teeth stand out. Wonderful job on that mouth. It looks like, are you removing the tongue? Let's take a look at some of these work in progresses. So that's how Ace built up this monster Venom. He's obviously what he's done is he's split that mouth, the monster Venom mouth. He's cut it in half. And then he's angled it in such a way that it gives it that mouth opening. And then he's sculpting these teeth one by one. Meticulous job. Not an easy job, but then he starts building up the paint. Yeah, that yellow, you did a really good job of weathering those teeth, making them look like a vicious monster Venom. And my gosh, if I displayed a monster Venom on my shelf, this is exactly what I would want. That is it's just so eye-catching. I love it. Good job. Here's another eye-catching custom with an effect. Obviously, this is going to be the new Mysterio that they just released. Cardboard Man props. He looks like he's added some smoke to that helmet. I don't own this figure, but it definitely looks like he's paid attention to the body of this figure. He's added paint apps, weathering, and then he's added this really cool smoke effect. Let's take a look at the video. And I think he just did that. I've seen people do that with polyfill, but it looks like he may have done it with algodón. That's the Spanish word for cotton. But look at that. Beautiful looking Mysterio. He's definitely added paint apps. Because I don't remember that Mysterio having the paint inside the helmet like that. Yeah, there's no way that is the original. If that's the original Hasbro product and you just did the effect, I'm gonna go to the store and buy that figure right now. But I know that that's not what Hasbro put out because they don't do paint apps that well. All right, moving on to the Hottest Fuzz custom. Obviously, I featured a bunch of his customs on the program before, and he goes for Swamp Thing is obviously one of his favorite characters because he keeps on pumping them out. Now, I don't know, is this black? Okay, I know it's blacklit over here. But have you used paints that will stand out? I couldn't see it. I tried to figure it out, but it looks like that may be it. But getting to the custom, just pretty cool details. Definitely screams Swamp Thing. Very unique stuff. When you look at a custom like this, you immediately recognize who the artist is who produced it. When I see the Hottest Fuzz customs, I immediately can tell he's very identifiable in his customs. Great shot, dig it. Moving on to the next one, Kit Bash customs. Now, I hate this figure, but what you did here made me want this figure. Just a simple let's gear War Machine up even more. I don't know where you got those red bits. Oh man, those are articulated. I didn't know that that's what he did. He just added a bunch of stuff. I can't, wow. Oh, oh my gosh, man. Those are like missile pods. That's the first time I saw that. I guess I didn't watch the whole video the first time around. Great job, man. Dig it. Here's Ace again. Ace NGBS. And I don't know. This is obviously a War Machine that's gone through battle, but the paint job on this is very interesting. It almost looks like a rock. I know he's kind of going for like a smoky effect that he's been in battle. He's got weathering right there. And it looks like he's done a finish with, it's like a shiny finish, like a future floor polish. It's just pretty interesting. Pretty, obviously all the weathering. And I'm not sure if your intention was to leave it glossy like that, to make it look like metal, like the metal, like it's still metal. But it's very eye-catching. Yeah, the details are pretty phenomenal, what you've done here. I'm curious as to what you were doing right there with the, if you're intended to leave it, you know, metallically looking. You probably did. Is that future floor polish? I don't know, but it looks pretty awesome. Very eye-catching. Here's another eye-catching custom by Captain Snick. This dude's a very good customizer. Really love the idea here. Obviously, we saw this or something similar to this in the Avengers movie, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Looks like he's using Thanos legs with the Hulk, but that arm, that Hulkbuster arm just stands out. This is, I know it's supposed to be like movie, but it's almost cartoony looking, which I like. And what I really like is, let me go back to it. I just want to look at that arm. Look at the job of weathering that he's done here. Again, this is not just something that you spit out even in an hour. I don't know. He may be able to spit it out. I certainly could not produce something that weathered, that awesome looking in an hour. That would take me several hours to do. These customs, I think, take a long time. Captain Snick, if you watch this, I know you watch the show, so can you let us know in the comments below how long it took you just to do the arm? This thing's spectacular. Love it. All right, so Dog Reviews, a buddy of mine who does pretty much figure reviews. He does toy hunts on his channel, and occasionally he'll spit out a custom. The guy's a plumber and a singer, super talented dude too. All right, so here is obviously that armor for Iron Man is known in the comic, and he just liked the color scheme, so he goes, I'm gonna paint this up, my Hulkbuster. Hulkbusters were plenty at some point, and I think he says, yeah, he took 8 hours hand painting the Hulkbuster, and that's what I'm saying. Customs take a long time. Now, guys that don't do them all the time, like Dog, it's going to take them a little bit longer than somebody that just pumps them out, somebody that's selling customs. They obviously will be producing things fast, but regardless, it still takes an awful lot of time to get something that looks pretty good. And that does, I love that color scheme. And that's not all he's done. He weaponized the heck out of this thing. And there you can see him building it up. Seeing how what looked good. By the way, that cannon up there, can you guys recognize that? That's from a Crossbones figure. All right, moving on to Sean's Bro. This is a smaller scale custom. Typically, we just do 1/12 scale customs here, but I thought, man, this 3 3/4 inch figure from Edge of Tomorrow is really outstanding. I love these geared up, weaponized things. Look at that. The character's just placed in this battle suit. I don't know if he created this battle suit, if he found it or he parted it out, but I think it looks brilliant. Good job. Here's another character right here. So maybe, oh no, this is just another one. I hadn't seen this thing. Well, you get an extra custom featured on the show then, because this thing looks awesome. You can definitely tell it's the 3 3/4 scale, but that looks sweet. I think I said the same words over and over again. All right, moving on to customs by Matthew. This is a project that this was a commission. We need Todd McFarlane to come in and kill it, because DC has certainly suffered from a lack of phenomenal figures, in my opinion anyway. This thing looks very sharp, very neat. We need one of these. I mean, I have one. Actually, there's been a couple of them. The sculpts are great, but the articulation are terrible. But anyways, I went off completely on a random subject. I think he did a great Cyborg here. Good show, always a good show. And here's another Cyborg. This is a very interesting one. Look at that face. I think that's one of my favorite faces that Hasbro's released. That's the Hulk, if you couldn't tell. And he's using the Centurion body. One of the worst Build-A-Figures that Hasbro's put out. I'm high on Hasbro, but this is a terrible Build-A-Figure. But he's made great use of it. It looks good. There's that's the Cyborg that I have, one of my favorite figures, but no articulation whatsoever. We definitely need a rescue from the DC side. So good use of that part. Let's move to another armored up. Well, this is Iron Man, first appearance Iron Man, but it's the movie style. Here, Cardboard Man, he's showing how he's just going to weather him up and make him look metallic. So that's him working out. Look at the result. It's really nice. Using that black and then dry brushing silver over it. He's going to continue doing lighter and lighter and lighter silvers, so that way he gets a variegated look to his metal, weathered look to his metal. Really brought out the details of the figure. Good job on that arc reactor. And what he did with that arc reactor, he went from white and he built out the levels to blue, so it looks like it's actually pulsating and lit up. Really good job. Dig it. Thanks for sharing. Moving to another weathered up piece, Captain Snick killing it. Yeah, man. This is Tony. Tony got jacked here. Like big time. How big time did he get jacked? Oh, he's dead. What is this, like zombie? Did I miss you say? Yeah, okay. Okay, the effect was captured. I just realized what it was. Very neat. Good details. Yeah, outstanding. All right, moving to Neon Toy Reviews with an Iceman. There's been so many Icemen lately. And I can see the base body that he used, because I've used a similar base body, or parts of this body on a custom I did a long time ago. But yeah, pretty neat. I think this body works well for Mr. Freeze. Oh, you got some interesting parts going on here. There you go. That's what I wanted to show. You guys have you see where he got that body. I used parts of the gun or for an Apocalypse, like a cartoon or the movie. Oh shoot, I don't know what I'm saying. The Capcom versus video game. I used parts of this guy. Dig it. Good job. All right, heading to the end, we got some Wolverine customs coming up right here. Official HK Hunter Night Customs. Very good customizer. Love this Wolverine. Obviously, it's the movie style. Done a really good job parting these together. Love that screaming head, man. There you have him in for scale. So he scales. This is going to be a taller Wolverine, obviously, like more NECA style. And then Shinigami Customs with, why not, man, right? Why not? Wolverine's aplenty. One of the best characters ever made in the Marvel Universe, and this was his representation. Here is Josh's representation. Obviously, this is Double Flip Customs. This is his own imagination. This uniform has never come into existence, but I definitely like the color and design of it. Love your pictures too. Here's Captain Snick again. Man, you snuck like 3 or 4 customs in this week. Oh, that's right, because last week I didn't have a program. Really good job of paints. Pay attention to the details, folks. Look at those pants. That's just not the light reflecting on it. He has actually manufactured that with paints. Really love that head sculpt. And remember, this is going to be that old man Wolverine. Yeah, great job in updating that figure. Lewin Aiden's Customs. I love this one. This is a really nice looking Lady Deathstrike. Obviously he's changed the head. He's used the Elektra. Maybe he used part of the Elektra. Looks like he's used the Elektra top right there. Really works well for her. I think I love all these the gears on her feet, or the attachments or whatever. Really well done, good looking custom. I gotta think, would I want a classic version for my shelf or something like this? Because this is very attractive. I dig it. Figure this customs with a Thanos using the Caliban upper body, actually other parts too. He was inspired by Ace Outlaw Customs while doing this custom, and I think that works well. This is just essentially the Walmart exclusive Thanos buffed up. Then, speaking of buffed up, we got this Bane. I love Bane. That's a great character to make customs off. There's just so many different ways you can take them. I like what you've done here. It looks like you used some of the Build-A-Figure parts, some really old school parts going with the ball jointed hips, but it's a good looking custom, good looking figure. Kit Bash Customs. Here's one of these 1000 toy figures, right? That's what this is. And he's just armored him up, painted him up, giving him some weathering. And these figures are super articulated. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this line. I didn't pick one up. They're a little bit on the smaller side. It's like import size, 1/12 scale. But what he's done here is just added to it, made it look like something I'd want. I just like cool looking toys, man. I like cool designs, and I think he achieved it. Cable, beautiful job by Tosh Customs. The picture's taken from a very far away angle, so it's really hard to appreciate all the details, but I know for a fact a lot of work went in on just the paint alone. But it's kind of hard to see. You can see there's a lot of weapons. It looks like he's used soft goods cape. The face looks, obviously that's one of the most recent cables that was used, and I don't know what's in the back, but I'm sure he's got some weapons storage in the back. But it's a beautiful looking custom. Ace Outlaw Customs. That's what happens, player, when you work on so many customs at the same time. Hasbro ends up catching up to you and releasing a toy that you made. So this is going to be the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Very cool looking figure. Ace does really good work, but he is ADD and he works on, like, literally he's working on 40 projects at the same time. Do you know anybody like that? I feel you, player. 52 good people right here with this pretty cool custom Kang the Conqueror, and he's going with a buffed out version. And it looks like he's gone with also the modern design, and it was inspired by the Avengers Assemble tune. And I think he did a really nice job on manufacturing the gear, the getup. It looks good. Nikki Nicole, she takes these mythic legions and soups them up. Very interesting design. I think I may have to go pick up one of these mythic legions because I want to make that. How many figures, Nikki, if you can put in the comments, I'm curious because I'm not familiar with this line of toys. How many figures did you have to break up, or these parts that are included and you can make your own type of figure? I think that they include multiple parts, but this thing is just an absolute beast. Love the way it looks. I love your paints. They mix really well. You obviously understand color palettes. I mean, not that this is super colorful, but they're just very appealing when they that gray with the metallics look very well. All right, enough said customs. This is a crazy looking Batman. I think it's from like an offshoot comic that DC does. I think it could be Blood Rain. I don't know. I've seen it. I didn't read it, but man, dig the soft goods cape on this beast. This looks like it's going to be a pretty large figure. I'm trying to figure out what was the base that you used. It could have been one of those Play Arts Kais, but I don't know. Dig it. Looks good. Like the design. DLS Customs. Really good job with the soft goods. Those of you that don't like soft goods, come on, man. Look at this. This is a great example of a very good use of soft goods in a toy, in a plastic toy. Oh, the scene straight out of, well, at least for me, the cartoon that I saw. Love it. Love it. Looks awesome. Another awesome looking Beast custom. This is a custom head that he made. I don't know where he got that from, but Beast has had so many different looks. One of the cooler X-Men characters, I think, in my opinion anyway. I think Rai has done him justice with this head sculpt. Very unique. I don't think many other people have this head sculpt yet, so I think you did a great job. The Ghost with the Most, he took this inspiration from this cartoon. I feel like I've shown this before. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe it's somebody else, but it's a very unique idea here. Obviously, it came from some sort of comic that I never read, but who doesn't like Deadpool stuff and Venom stuff and, you know, symbiotes? Easy617 with, he added some soft, I think, is that soft goods or is this all plastic? I think this is going to be one of the Fortnite figures, possibly Fortnite figure used as a base. I don't recognize this type of character. It just looked cool. So when I saw it, does that say perfect end? The perfect end in the background? All right, man. Good looking character. Interesting. All right, Domenico here has America Chavez. I haven't seen too many America Chavez customs. I wonder if Hasbro is going to release one in a pack with all the women figures. I don't think she was one of the characters included in that SDCC exclusive a couple years ago. But cool looking figure. I've read the character. The character's okay, but come on. Come on. Steve Rogers is Captain America. All right. So Kyle Robinson with this Spider-Man that he custom up for a customer. A custom for a customer. Love the paint apps. Pretty interesting look of the head. I'm sure that's coming from somewhere. I don't know where the inspiration's at. Finally, some G.I. Joes. And that's not Duke. I can't remember this. I just had it. I looked him up and everything. You guys, you Joe fans know who this is. I mean, it looks like the character that I used to watch when I was a kid. It's been a long time, guys, since I've seen a G.I. Joe cartoon. And since I don't do G.I. Joe customs, what's that guy's name, man? Oh, gosh. Hopefully I'll be putting it on the screen, or maybe I won't put it on the screen because I'm disgusted with myself that I forgot his name. All right, Tiny Pants. He does these Mescal style customs. Pretty neat. That suit is awesome looking. This is going to be Cardinal Man props. I've featured a couple of his customs already. Look at the difference. This is why you guys need to repaint your base figures. Pick up just the basics, and you can take that on the left and make it look that awesome on the right. Good work. Dude, I think this is one of the first ones I've seen. Do this. This looks awesome, RDJ. Really does. I don't know if Hasbro will ever come out with something like that. So Joey here commissioned this piece, this Ronan the Accuser from Michael Kern. I don't know if Mike's on Instagram or not. I know he's on Facebook, and those are some of that's one of Joey's displays. I love his displays, man. It looks awesome. Comics collectibles with this Hawkeye. He's made him look. He's changed parts to make him look more movie accurate. There's some of you that are accuracy purists, so. Man, if that's what you like to do, go for it. And I think that he does look more accurate to how he appeared on the TV show. Son of Malebolgia is his representation of this preacher. Oh, actually, from custom Saint of Killers from the Preacher comics. I'm not familiar, but that looks like a dope comic or dope custom. I am familiar with Dalsim. Victor Alva with this Dalsim, using Marvel Legends body. Smart. And probably a lot cheaper than buying the SH Figuarts or wherever other companies is releasing it. Good use. Nice. Good work. Shinigami Customs with a custom for well, it was a commission custom. And I really love these wings. An interesting way of connecting the piece using a Lego. Pretty neat idea. Pretty neat idea of connecting those wings to the body. Obviously, this is a big, huge body. Which one? Is that the Omega Red? Or is it Beast? Dude, is that the Beast that you shaved down? What? Dude, is that the Beast that you shaved down? I thought, because the smoothness, I thought it was the Omega Red body, but it looks, because of the abs, it looks like that's Beast. Dude, you did. No, wait a second. I gotta know this. Did you? Dude, did you use Beast or Omega Red? I need to know. If you use Beast, that's super impressive. Christina Conan with, did you repaint the Storm that just came out? Did you repaint the Storm that just came out? Or is this one of your own customs? Because for whatever reason, this strikes me as the white Storm that's being released in the retro packaging. It looks awesome, but did you repaint it? What the heck is this? I got confused there. I'm under a lot of medication right now, folks. Mad Science Customs. I don't recognize the character. It's a pretty interesting design using a bullseye body, or actually Havoc body. That was a Toy Biz body. Tankster Custom with this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. He's one of the customizers that pretty much does these. You know how much I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I love this character design. Pretty cool. Pretty cool looking. Here's some work in progresses. This is Mark-Eye Lab Creations. I mean, seriously, guys, what can I say? Oh, like, what is there to say about that? That's just so ridiculous. We're just gonna have to wait and see what he puts out with that. Pretty crazy looking already. Doro Monstacado. He is working on this hair. Pretty neat looking. Good job on he's got 3 different designs here. And then here's the third one. Looking good. Dark Nightwing. Finally got his name right. When I saw this, what I immediately thought is, I'm gonna keep looking. I want that custom in my collection. Love the fact that you're going for a larger hammerhead. Love the fact that you've had to manufacture that 3-piece suit. Love the fact that you're working on improving the articulation on this terrible Joker figure. And I cannot wait until you finish with this, because when you do, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna make one and I'm gonna follow what you've done here, because I think it's brilliant. I love it. Stood out to me. And guys, which custom stood out to you? Which custom piece stood out to you? Because we're about to go to the fan vote, and it's your voice. You're gonna get a chance to vote in your favorite custom from this episode of This Week in Customs right now. All right, folks, the first one up for vote is going to be VLS Customs Doomsday. The second one is going to be this modern version Taskmaster by Uncle Sam 1989. The third one is going to be Draw Customs God of War Batman. Custom number 4 for your consideration is going to be the classic or video game Taskmaster by Symbiote Seeker. And the final one for your consideration is going to be this Monster Venom by Ace NGBS. I want to thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sharing this with a nerd friend. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.